of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of this board is final. In respect, it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in a court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bias.
Here.
Mr. Noctree.
Here.
Ms. Radakovich.
Here.
Mr. Riggs.
Here.
Ms. Rohr.
Here.
Chairman Hennessy.
Here.
First order of business would be approval of minutes from the last meeting.
Motion be in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion second to approve. Pull the board.
Mr. Noctree.
Aye.
Ms. Radakovich.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Rohr.
Aye.
Mr. Bias.
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy.
Aye.
Next would be citizens to be heard on agenda items. We do allow you to speak on an agenda item now if you'd like to, but we'll also let you speak when the item is called on the agenda. But if anybody would like to speak now, they could do so. Seeing none at this time, old business for public hearing, we have none. Under new business, we have two agenda items. The first is 2024-51. The applicant is Kelly Gui. The status of the applicant is business owner. The property owner is DC Investment Fund. Location is 3078 Caton Farm Road. Request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow a massage therapy business in a commercial tenant space at 3078 Caton Farm Road. Per the City of Joliet zoning ordinance, massage businesses may be allowed as special uses in the B3 zoning district by the mayor and city council with the advice of the zoning board of appeals in accordance with section 47-5.2. Under site-specific information, the tenant space for the proposed business is within a West River Crossings commercial center at the southeast corner of Caton Farm Road and Essington Road. North section of the building and its surrounding parking is approximately 3.4 acres. Tenant space faces Caton Farm Road and is around 1,400 square feet. There are 33 parking spaces in the adjacent lot on the north side of the building. More parking is available on the west side. Property is zoned B3 general business. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the tenant space is located within the West River Crossing subdivision. The surrounding zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is Will County R3 single-family residence, residential use. To the south is B3 general business, commercial use. To the east is RB restricted business zoning with a professional offices use. And to the west is B3 zoning with a commercial use. Under applicable regulations, section 47-13.2AH, special uses, B3 district, and 47-5.2C, criteria for issuance of a special use permit, and you could refer to the attachment for that. Under discussion, the petitioner and business owner, Kelly Gui, is requesting approval of a special use permit to allow a massage therapy business in the tenant space at 3078 Caton Farm Road. Petitioner would be the only massage therapist on staff at this time. Petitioner has an active massage therapy license from the state of Illinois and has been licensed as a massage therapist since 2014. They have already completed and passed the background check that is required as part of their city business license application. The tenant space is approximately 1,400 square feet and is part of a multi-tenant commercial building that contains uses such as a grocery store, restaurant, and hair salon. There is sufficient parking for all building tenants in the adjacent parking lot. Proposed hours of operation are Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. A floor plan and business license application are attached. The proposed business is located in a commercial subdivision with various retail and service uses. The massage therapy business will not be harmful to or impede the use and development of other businesses and operations within the area. Under conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, following conditions would be included. One, that a city business license shall be obtained. Two, that it needs to be up and running within 180 days. Three, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing, a possible revocation of the special use permit, and that concludes our staff report. That concludes our staff report.
Okay. Is the petitioner present? I must swear you in. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
My name is Dee. The address is 1422 Woodbridge Road, Joliet. Zip code is 60436.
Thank you.
Put the
Any comments you'd
microphone
like to
down.
make?
So my mom, Kenny, is a professional masseuse with 10 years of experience, licensed in both New Jersey and Virginia. No criminal record. When my base transferred to Illinois, we fall in love with Joliet, this beautiful, clean, and friendly place. Our store service including body massage, chair massage, and full massage. So we will obey the norm and service the communication well.
Thank you. Any questions by the board?
Did you say that you were in the military?
Yes,
How long?
4 years.
Okay.
Any further questions? Is there anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor. Ask the board for discussion on the motion.
Move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board.
Ms. Radakovich?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Mr. Bias?
Aye.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you.
So
Thank
that
you so
will go
much.
to City Council's second meeting in November 18th and 19th with recommendation for approval. Next case is 2024-52. The applicant is Umid Alamov, sorry. Status of the applicant is a business owner. Owner of the property is A&D Properties LLC. Location is 251 Republic Avenue. Request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow a used truck dealership at 251 Republic Avenue. For the City of Joliet zoning ordinance, the sales and associated repair of trucks may be allowed as a special use in the I-1 Light Industrial District by the Mayor and City Council with the advice of the Zoning Board of Appeals in accordance with Section 47-5.2. Under site-specific information, the subject property is approximately 1.5 acres and contains a 16,000 square foot industrial building surrounded by an asphalt parking area. Property is owned I-1 Light Industrial and was most recently occupied by a truck repair facility for J&D Truck Repair. In 2013, Zoning Board approved a special use permit to allow an indoor truck repair facility at the site, with an amendment approved in 2016 to allow customer truck repair parking in front of the business. Prior to that, a special use permit to allow an auto repair and towing business was approved in 2010 by the business, but the business never occupied the site. Other previous uses within the last 20 years include a furniture dealer, contractor businesses, and medical equipment suppliers. The building contains 6 repair bays with 5 loading doors on the north side of the building and 1 on the east side. There are striped spaces for truck parking along the north side of the site and in the center of the parking area east of the building. There are 6 parking spaces adjacent to the east side of the building. Site has a wrought iron fence and some landscaping along the front property line next to Republic Avenue that were installed as part of the 2016 special use permit. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the subject property is located on the west side of Republic Avenue between Jefferson Street and Glenwood Avenue. Corridor has a mix of commercial and industrial uses, and a majority of the properties have I-1 zoning. Zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is I-1 Light Industrial Truck Repair Facility. To the south is I-1 Auto Body Shop. To the east is I-1 Medical Offices. And to the west is I-1 Construction Equipment Sales. Under applicable regulations, Section 47-14.3D, B3 uses within the I-1 district, 47-13.2AG, special uses, B3 General Business District, and 47-5.2C, criteria for issuance of a special use permit, and you could refer to the attachment for that. Under discussion, the petitioner is requesting approval of a special use permit for a used truck dealership for Longhorn Truck Sales, LLC, at 251 Republic Avenue. Petitioner owns a trucking business at a different location and would like to repair and sell some of their used semi-tractors at this site. Petitioner plans to have 5 to 7 tractors on display for sale and estimates that they will sell around 2 to 3 per week. Prices will range from $15,000 to $25,000. The site contains a metal warehouse building with 6 repair bays. Longhorn Truck Sales will be the only occupant of the building at this time. They currently lease the space but plan to purchase the site in the future. The petitioner will sell spare trucks that are part of their existing fleet and will only be repairing those trucks to be sold at this site. They already own a repair shop for their company trucks, again at 2404 Reeves Road. Repair services will not be open to the public. Proposed hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Business will have 5 employees. Trucks for sale will be displayed at the front of the site adjacent to Republic Avenue. Vehicles awaiting repair will be parked on the north side and center of the site. The business does not sell semi-trailers and will rarely have trailers on site. Car parking is located along the east side of the building. Site plan and business license application are attached. Economic Development staff have reviewed this request and believe that the proposed use is appropriate given the history of the site. Under conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included: that all service and repairs shall be performed within the building, that inoperable vehicles shall not be stored outdoors for longer than 7 days, that adequate off-street parking for customers and employees shall be provided and remain into the future, that a city business license shall be obtained, that the operation gets up and running within 180 days, and lastly, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes our staff report.
Is the petitioner here? I swear you in, sir. Do you swear that the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, I do.
Name and address.
Omid Alexander Olomov. Address is 505 West Weber Road, Romeoville, Illinois.
Put the
Any comments
microphone
you'd
up.
like to make?
Is it good now?
That's better.
Yeah. My name is Omid Alexander Olomov, and I reside at 505 West Weber Road, Romeoville, Illinois.
Anything else you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to comment about your petition?
Yes. Since considering that the previous tenants were solely repairing trucks for public, we will be only repairing our own equipment and putting it for sale. And we believe that it's not going to create any traffic congestion comparing the previous tenant, and hoping to see if you guys can approve that.
Okay.
And we are, as far as my previous, the other locations, 2404 Reeves Road, is BG Enterprise in a good standing, and I hope that you guys can consider that fact as well.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
I'm not in the business of buying or selling trucks, so
Sure.
these might be a little clueless. You said that you believe there's going to be a reduction in traffic
Comparing to the previous tenant,
compared
yes.
to the previous. What is your policy and how does it work when somebody comes to purchase one? Is there going to be, I'm assuming you're going to take driver's license, they're going to want to drive it, right?
Yes,
Test it
they
out?
want to do a road test, correct, yes.
Okay.
And we get their driver license and make sure that they approve they have proper CDL and they have insurance. possible purchasers must have a liability insurance on the equipment that you're coming to inspect. Then they are allowed to do a road test. Based on that, we'll make either sale or not. Yeah.
Okay. And with
Mhm.
that in mind, if you're selling was it 2 to 6 or 2 to 3 a week,
2 to
you
3
said?
probably, maybe in a week probably. I
Within
would
a
say
week.
strongly 2 to 3. Yes.
Okay. You still believe that would still be a reduction in the amount of people
Yeah,
coming in and out than when they were doing open
Yes,
repairs?
because a previous tenant was repairing a lot of trailers, and they were creating a traffic congestion over there in the area. So we mainly will be dealing 95% of the only tractors, and I think this will help to, because obviously the trailers are 53 foot long and they block a lot of road and stuff. But in our case, we think that's gonna help traffic reduction.
Got it. Thank you.
Do you
Any other
currently-
questions?
Yeah.
Have you had any opposition for anybody around the area?
No, seems like neighbors are very friendly, considering the fact that it looks like more of an industrial area and there's a lot of tractors already exists, and so we were kind of pretty warmly welcomed by the neighbors, and we were able to. I know a few of my neighbors, considering that they have other businesses in other parts of the Joliet. I know most of my neighbors, so they were kind of friendly and okay with that.
Do you currently lease the space right now?
At 2404 Reefs, yes.
No, this space. The space in
Yes,
question.
yes. And intention of hopefully next year purchasing it.
Uh-huh. So all of those trucks that are currently in the lot right now, they belong to you?
No, but we're cleaning up because the previous, some of them belongs to the previous tenant. We're cleaning up right now.
Okay. So the Hillbilly trucks, the Robertson trucking trucks are not yours?
And ours, that's ours.
They are yours?
Yes, yes.
So right now, you're parked triple stacked then in some places, aren't you?
That's correct, yes. But if you were able to visit today, there's only 2 lanes.
Okay. I was there over the weekend.
Yes,
and there
that's
was still
correct.
quite a bit of-
Oh, the weekend, yes.
And there were broken trailers too. Like
Yes, we cleaned them up. There was at least 6 of them were.
Any other comments or questions?
But you're telling us that your traffic will be less than what was.
Considering that there won't be much trailers, that's what I think the whole key point would be.
Okay.
Mainly tractors. They don't create traffic much.
And you haven't had any opposition from anybody in the area?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, I have one. Just one last question. You mentioned 95% of the work is tractors and so 5% is trailers?
Yes.
Okay,
We mentioned in our form, like, we do mainly tractors.
okay, but you don't expect to do very many more than about 5%?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions? Is that it? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Want to come forward, please? Must swear you in. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth on the penalty of law?
Yes, sir.
Your name and address, please.
My name is Pat Mudrin, property owner at 113 Republic Avenue.
Thank you.
The site today has anywhere from 30-plus tractors there. Is there a trailer or two? Sure. But these are tractors, mainly easily 30 there. It is my understanding this is a hospital TIF district that I don't think this tenant fits the image or the direction the city is trying to go with that TIF district there. And I'm here to oppose it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Would you like to comment on this?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Currently, there's the tractors you mentioned is correct. But if you were to see the previous tenant, there was a lot of motors laying around. There's so much oil. We spent almost 2 months to clean it up from the day one. We painted the building. We fixed the building. It's much more nicer. If there's any chance to see the Google Earth view and how it was previously, it was in a really terrible condition. We had to spend 2 months just to clean up the parking lot, how it was conditioned and currently now. Mm-hmm. And I believe that the amount of trucks is completely, gentleman is correct. We are, as of the terms of that, we're moving them. And hopefully in a couple days, we're just gonna leave just the way to only one lane. That's how we are requesting to be, this permit to be approved. But, yeah, my comment, obviously, we're keeping the place much, much cleaner than it previously was.
Are you cutting the grass and cutting the weeds?
Yes, we did, yes. We-
Inventory-wise, how many do you plan on having? Because you said it's down to 2 rows now, triple stacked, right?
Yes, yes.
So what's your plan? Like, how many do you have?
One row only on the front where we're advertising, and it's gonna be, there's the trucks close to the bay for the, waiting for the repairs. And I do believe that, the previously how the building was and how it was used, previously was used for service, for any tractors coming from on the street with the trailers, it was a repair shop. For the outside service, but currently considering the fact that we're only doing our own equipment, and we think first there's going to be less. It's not going to cause any traffics. Secondly, we if you would compare the previous tenant, we keeping the place a lot cleaner, and we did remodeling with paint to make the building look nice, and I can provide photos if required.
Any other questions or comments?
The gentleman that opposes, if you would step up, sir.
Yeah, good.
The previous
Yes,
tenant,
sir.
the previous tenant that was there before, did you have opposition with them?
There was no opportunity to oppose it. It was already here. I guess I obviously could have filed directly with the city to ask to have their license removed, but we did not.
Tell me your main reason why you had opposition. Just because you didn't want the trucks in the area?
I think the overall direction that the city planning department is trying to go with the hospital TIF district is to bring in more businesses, not trucking businesses. So across the street, there is a medical facility, and the idea would be to have more of them come. The gentleman who is speaking, I believe, is the group who completely emptied this lot about 2 weeks ago. That would have been when he's cleaning, I assume, but the lot is as full now as it ever was.
Yeah, but hey, sir, if it's his trucks, they can't make one dime sitting there.
Say that again, please?
If it's his trucks that he's working on, he doesn't make any money with his trucks sitting there. They have to be on the road, wouldn't they?
I would agree with that.
And if we go to the store and we expect to buy something, if it's not on the shelf, some truck has to bring it there, right? Bring
Oh.
it somewhere.
No question.
If we make a cake, we're gonna break some eggs. It's a mess, but at the end, it's a sweet revenge. Sometimes we have to put up with things that we don't particularly like, right?
I understand.
Okay,
That's why you're on this committee, to make the tough decisions.
all right,
That's why you make the big bucks.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We work for free.
I got one
Does the city
question. I know
have any
that.
plans for the future for that general area, aside from its relationship with the area of the hospital?
A
Is there-
couple businesses on Springfield who would, the back of their buildings, which is a conference room, face this area, have complained during the year about trailers parked there. I don't know if they were, obviously they're not his trailers because he was not running it. So I don't know if there were trailers from the people who were doing the repair or the business next to them, which is a logistic trucking operation also of some nature.
Yeah, I'm a
And they
little-
were, and then the city was called regularly to have these tagged and either removed or towed away.
I
I've got
believe
a
in your
question.
comments, Jim, earlier that you said that this is, that you have the staff that considers this an appropriate business for that location.
Well, they have I-1 light industrial zoning, but, you know, with that underlying zoning, they still need the special use permit. So
Yeah.
that's why they're here. But there's been a most recent history of trucking and trucking repair going on here, but not sales.
Okay.
I've got a question. In the last 5 years, how much would you say your business has grown?
I do not think we're going to grow that because the whole purpose is it'll be very steady, simple the way it is, because the purpose of this facility is the trucks that we have over the road, once they reach a certain mileage, we do the necessary repairs to pass it on to the next user selling it, and it will be the same level to operating. We're not planning to increase.
What I'm asking is, in the last 5 years, how much has your
last
company
5.
grown? Would you say it doubled?
No, about 50%, I would say.
So
It
it's
wouldn't double. Yes.
50%?
Yes.
So you already had the parking lot filled,
Yes.
and if you continue growing the way that you are, that's gonna be running out of space in no time.
Yes, it's a very good, I think, a reasonable question. Those trucks were all the trucks that we have for this year and next year. Everything. We brought everything over there parked, and we wanted to check through what needs to be done. Everything for this year and next year. I would say close to about 35 trucks, maybe 40. Yes, and once again, whenever the product needs, the food and all the items, so the truck has to bring it. But when they parked and nobody likes it, and it's just sometimes it's unfair.
Yeah, but all these trucks are ones that you're gonna sell, so
Yes,
they're gonna be there regardless.
That's a good question. Yeah, we have our yard in Rockdale. We plan to move it just the way to leave it only the first row and move the rest to Rockdale yard and just bring it one by one. The reason we brought it, we wanted to assess what kind of work we need to do, and we moved all of them.
Is that the yard over at Knowles Plumbing?
What is it?
Knoll Plumbing yard, is that where you're at over there in Rockdale?
It's by the Lafarge in Rockdale. It's empty, about 10 acre. I own it, and that's where I'm planning to keep it.
How long have you been leasing this property?
It's third month now. But considering that in this particular property, before it was a truck repair shop, and before that it was a body shop for the truck repair, and all the neighbors on the side, on the right and left, they are actually on the left is a body shop, on the right is also a truck repair shop. They work on trailers.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Jim. Jim, does the city have any plan for this area if it is supposed to be part of the hospital TIF district? Is there any plan to allow the hospital district to expand into this area?
Yeah, I mean, we would encourage that. Nobody has stepped forward as the problem. So these properties have this I-1 light industrial zoning. If somebody came to us and wanted to redevelop it more medical, we would be all for that, and there'd be TIF funding available to do that. They're not asking for any TIF funding, and they just want to utilize, the existing metal building, the warehouse building that has existed there for many, many years. And so that's where we're at, but we would love to see this area redevelop in more of a medical campus around the hospital.
Any other questions? Chair's closing the petition to the floor and asking the board for discussion. Any motion?
Due to the size of your business, I'm gonna have to reject it and vote against it. So I make a motion against it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny the petition. Pull the board.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
I have to say this because it's very frustrating for me. This is a light industrial as is, and my inclination is that this is the best use for the property. With that being said, the caveat is that there's nobody out there banging on the door to to do anything with this property at this time. I personally do not believe that this should be a light industrial, and I think this is something that the city needs to look at, and the planning commission or whoever else. We need to, rethink about how to get businesses locally, but I think it is unfair to put that burden on you and your business, so I have to vote nay.
Mr. Bias?
When I drive on Interstate 80 there's trucks parked everywhere. But without the trucks, we wouldn't have clothes, food. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. It is a necessity. And because the fact that you have that there, and there's other trucks in that area, I'm not gonna deny it. I vote for you to let her have it.
So you're voting against the motion to deny?
Yes, I'm voting against that motion, yes.
Mr. Naptree?
No.
Ms. Radakovich?
No.
Well, do
She
we need to
voted already
clarify?
once.
She-
You'd be,
Yeah.
if you want to, you'd be, if you voted, you seconded, so you'd be an aye.
Aye. Oh, sorry, aye. Sorry.
Yeah.
I lost the
I know.
discussion back here.
Yeah.
Was that vote to deny?
That vote was a yay for rejection.
For rejection.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Wait a minute. Vote.
Yes, so I think,
That's where we got
Yeah,
screwed.
this
So
is-
did you
this-
vote for
The
the?
motion is to deny.
I
Motion's-
voted that he can do it, so
That-
mine is a nay.
So,
Okay,
The recommendation was for denial,
yes.
so an aye vote was in
deny it,
favor
to
of that denial.
deny.
What was that
You
vote
voted
for?
no, so you voted against the denial recommendation.
I did.
Yes,
I would like to change that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was a misunderstanding on my part.
okay.
Would you like to bring up your vote?
So
for
he would change it,
reconsideration?
so
Hmm?
with that understanding, it's 4-2 in favor to deny, with a recommendation for denial. So this will go to city council November 18th and 19th with a recommendation for denial.
Understood.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next agenda item is old new business, not for final action or recommendation. We have none.
Yeah.
Under public comment, would anybody like to speak under public comment? Seeing none. Before we adjourn, I just want to say this is going to be my last zoning board meeting. I'm
Oh.
retiring November 15th. So it's been my pleasure to work with you and for the city, and wish you all good luck, and thank you for your volunteerism on this board. So
Well,
just,
I've been chairman longer than you've been alive, I think. How, you're retiring?
is that right? Yeah,
Who's taking your place?
they don't know yet, but somebody will have to. So thank you, and so with that, you can adjourn if you
Yeah,
want.
but
fun
getting
with your
back to that
retirement.
last vote that we
What's
had.
that?
Have fun
that
with your
goes before
retirement.
That goes before the city council next meeting, so if there are some plans, we'll see how they vote on it as a whole.
Right.
Yeah, they'll
Right.
vote for it.
But Jimmy, thank you for all your years.
You're welcome. Yeah,
You-
my-
you will
my
love
pleasure.
You will love retirement.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me,
It's
so
good.
I'm planning to.
You get a chance to work for free there.
Yeah, just don't
Yep.
run for the junior college board,
That's not in my plans.
okay.
So did
Motion
we
to
adjourn?
adjourn the meeting would be in
Motion.
order.
Motion.
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned.